Hello friends, welcome to a different type of video. So obviously, as you can see behind me, and probably tell from the thumbnail, this is going to be a FNAF related Minecraft video. But before we get too into that stuff, I want to make some things clear real quick. Everything you're going to see is a work in progress. This is not the finished update. I'm just showing you this because I'm proud of what I got so far. And if you have any ideas, suggestions, opinions, whatever, let me know down in the comments, because it'd be very much appreciated, because there's some stuff I don't know what to do. But anyways, yeah, I've been building this pizzeria in my own time just for fun. This is like, I don't know how to explain it, but this is for something just like for myself, for fun. So, and I'll explain it. I'll explain it at the end of the video if you want to hear about it. But yeah, I have technically built this on the channel before, but it looks very different. But if you remember me building a FNAF map in creative, like probably a year ago at this point, maybe longer. This is the same place, except definitely a lot better. So I want to show you guys what I've got so far. But before we go into this, there's something else I need to show you before we go there, because this is very important for later on. Because this is my FreadBear's diner. Ooh, I'm pretty proud of this, and mainly for one thing, and it's that right there. I love the fact that in my FreadBear diner, you open the door and you're immediately greeted with them. I think I just love that a lot. But yeah, this is my humble little diner. I wanted to make it very small, because to me, FreadBear has always been like a very small location, kind of like, I guess, kind of like in the middle of nowhere. Not in the middle of nowhere, but you know what I mean. It's like very underground, I guess. But yeah, this is my FreadBear's diner. We got booths, tables, stools, and islands and stuff like that. Little arcades, drawings all around. The kitchen is not too good. I've never been a fan of making kitchens, so leave me alone. This just will lead to like the back, like, of the building, so like, there'd probably be a dumpster here and stuff, but yeah, nothing important there. Also, I have not built the outside of this building because I'm going to probably have to move this, and you'll see why whenever I explain the layout later on. But yeah, so we got the main room, then we got the little office, all nice, and there's supposed to be an office chair here. Oops. Oh well. Yeah, so we got a cool little office, Springtrap head, corkboard, that's what it's called, I guess. No, it's not a built-in board, that's like with the ads and stuff. Either way, here's the bathrooms. There we go. Lovely, sinks, and then there's the men's. Cool. I guess I could have just made one bathroom if I really wanted to, because locations like this usually have one bath. Oh, well, who cares? No one cares. And you got the janitor's closet. Not much going on in here because I didn't know what else to fill it with. But yeah, it's a little cozy, but I'm proud of this. It's simple, but like really good, I think. I'm proud of it. But yeah, so here's this, and let's go to the main location now. Just imagine that's in the past, and this is the present. And they might have gotten a little bit more money. It's just only a little bit bigger. But yeah, let me give you the tour of this place now. So obviously, here's the entrance. It's basic, but I'm happy with it. I like the little chairs and vending machines and trash, little like desks to like get checked in and stuff. There's supposed to be a chair here too. I probably should have also put a computer here. Well, I'll do that later. The main thing I like about this, though, is this, like, big, like, window right here. Because I like the... Sorry about the bats, by the way. They just spawn. But I like the idea, like, if, like, for example, if this was, like, a free roam fan game, I like the idea of the entrance being, like, big and open. It kind of, like, feels freeing, I guess, compared to the rest of the building, which has no windows, and it kind of feels, like, claustrophobic, I guess. I don't know, but I like the contrast of it. But anyways, let's make our way down to the main room. I'll show you what this is later. Look at it. I'm pretty happy with this main stage. I like this big old grand room a lot. I want to change like the border of the stage because it looks that looks completely stupid. I won't lie. I just didn't really have an idea of like how to make this look better. So this is just what it looks like for now. But I like the little stage lights underneath and the lights underneath the animatronic. I'm really happy with the idea of using like the van from Freddy and Friends on Tour. Those little animations before Security Breach came out. But yeah, that's kind of like what the truck is. It's basically just the truck, and then you got like the sky. It's cool and stuff like that. But another thing I'm pretty proud about is this. Look at that. Foxy's got his own little pirate ship. It's so cool. I love this. I've always loved this idea when I first came up with it. But yeah, so he kind of like can kind of feel like a part of it. Like he's still definitely separated, but also still a part of it, you know? But yeah, this is the main stage. You kind of have more rooms underneath, which I'll show you, and the party rooms above, and I'm also pretty proud of the party rooms. So, where to start? Let's do underneath first. So basically, this is kind of supposed to help, like, divide it, I guess, because I want 4, like, rooms in each corner. Kind of, like, as their own thing. I still haven't figured out a room, or like, a theme, I guess, for this room. I'm trying to figure it out, but I don't know. My idea is to use El Chip, kind of like have his own stand. But me and my cousins came up with this idea of El Chip kind of just like showed up one day, and he's just like in the middle of a random hallway with a stand. And I like that idea a lot better because it's just a lot more funny. But if I can't figure out an idea, then I'll probably put him in here. But, you know. You got little arcades here just because to fill it up a bit. This is supposed to be the ball pit room. He's not supposed to be here. I just like the look. I was just like looking at him one time and I forgot to get rid of him, I guess. He does look goofy without the ball pit though. But yeah, ignore him. He's not supposed to be there. But I knew I wanted this to be the ball pit room because I needed a ball pit room. But like, I don't know what else to fill it up with because it like... I don't want to just keep putting drawings on the wall. I feel like that'd be kind of like lazy. But it is the easiest way to, you know, fill it up, I guess. But got the carousel, you got the lemonade and fruit punch. I said those in the wrong order, whatever. But if you have any ideas how to fill this up, that would be greatly appreciated. Oh yeah, I also got like little lights for like the windows in Foxy's pirate ship just to help with like lighting a bit more. Over here, you got the prize corner. Lefty is right next to the puppet for obvious reasons, but in my universe, I guess they're separated. But yeah, I decided to make Lefty a little stage next to the prize corner, because why the hell not? But yeah, this is the prize corner. I think it definitely needs something more. I feel like I need to put something here, like chop off this shelf a little bit and put something. I'm just not exactly sure what, because I feel like it's too similar. It needs something to be broken up. It needs something to break it up a bit, you know? But either way, this is basically, you know, you get the idea of the prize corner. So there's that. You got the Prize King, right? That's the name? Yeah, Prize King, trash can, arcades. You got this little reading corner. I put Candy Cadet here because I had to put him somewhere. So might as well give his own entire room where he reads to children, I guess. Definitely not terrible stories. Oh yeah, you got bookshelves and you got bean bags. Again, need to put something on the walls, but not too sure. And then, let's go upstairs. How you get upstairs, though, is by these little, like, staircases upwards. They're the same on both sides, so, you know. Just thought I should point that out. But yeah, you come up here, and then boom, you have access to the party rooms. I'm thinking about putting like Balloon Boy and JJ on each side, but also I might put them in the hallways that you'll see later on because they are very empty. But something I'm really proud of the party rooms for is that each party room has its own animatronics. So in my own style, like, cause I'm gonna like be redesigning every animatronic you see into my own style, and so that there's like a consistent style throughout the animatronics without it being like, you know, FNAF 1 Bonnie, and then, you know, Sister Location Baby, and then Pig Patch, pig patch, you know, they have different styles, so that'd just be weird. So I'm gonna make my own style. But in my own style, each mediocre melody and the party rooms are only like torso and up. They don't have legs. Kind of like if you know about Chuck E. Cheese, kind of like early in the day, those animatronics were only like torsos and up. Well, at least at some point. Or at least some animatronics were only torso up, I think. But yeah, so they kind of are, they're kind of supposed to be kind of like in like a little like box, you know. But yeah, I'm going to just give you like a quick glance of each party room. But yeah, this is kind of the gist for each party room. You got Orville over here. And then each party room obviously is colored around that animatronic. A happy frog. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of this idea too. I really liked it a lot. I also have vents in each party room because I imagine these animatronics kind of like animatronics that specifically go in the vents, mainly due to the lack of legs. But yeah, each room is basically just randomized with all the crap I shoved into it. Here's a Ned Bear. And so you may be asking yourself, but Cody, there's only there's only 5 mediocre melodies. How do you have 6 rooms? Well, I remember one time in one theory that Matt Pat made where he was talking about how the mediocre melodies are the mask kids are wearing in the Happiest Day minigame in FNAF 3. Except he couldn't figure out the blue one. There was a blue one that he didn't know. So I decided to make the 6th one a blue animatronic. And in my style, it's basically going to be a basically bear endoskeleton. I'm going to leave some blue fabric on, but it's you're not going to be able to tell what it is. But this is kind of supposed to fill in the role of Foxy, since Foxy's not out of order in mine. Also, I have no idea what these are. These were just a way to light up the room, honestly. But I like them. I don't know what they are, but I like them. Also, I don't know why, but I made it like one person was here last. I also wanted to put up some like tape, like maybe police tape, like something bad happened in here. Maybe this is significant to my lore. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, those are all the party rooms. And as you probably could have guessed, you can actually go down to Poxy's. I am so dumb, guys. I am the dumbest motherfucker right now. You can go down to Foxy's pirate ship. Although I don't like the way it's supposed to look like a plank of wood, but I don't really like the way how you get up to Foxy's ship. I just didn't really know how else, you know, to get there, so this is kind of what I did. Also, I want to add some blue carpet to kind of like signify like the ocean floor, you know, but whatever, this is what we have right now. Also put some torches up because it needed to be lit up, but, and you know it works, pirate ship, old-timey, although maybe well, it's kind of, I don't know, I'm gonna leave it for now. Also, sorry for the low frame rate, I like shaders, bite me. But yeah, you can actually go into Poxy. Why do I keep saying Poxy? It's Foxy. You can actually go into Foxy's pirate ship, and bam, he's kind of got his own little miniature like area too. This room is definitely not finished, but I definitely like the idea of it. I need to change the floor, maybe like the border of like the bottom block, you know, to a different color. I was thinking maybe changing this roof to dark oak and then this to spruce, but I'm not too sure. Also, he has a window. I put actual windows because I like the idea of actually being able to look out. But I'm thinking about maybe actually changing it to like a fake window. You know, maybe like showing like a picture of a distant island in the back. I feel like that would work better as like an immersive thing. But I'm not too sure, like for the kids at least, you know, thinking in worlds. But I'm not too sure. I also just like the idea of having an actual window. So if you have an opinions, you know, let me know. It'd be appreciated. But yeah, that's it for the main stage or main party room, except the backstage. But we'll get to the backstage near the end. So let me show you the hallways. The hallways aren't anything significant, and actually they're really big. The only reasons why they're so big is for the bathrooms. Here's the boys' bathroom, you know, lovely. I need to fill those up with water. But yeah, there's the boys' bathroom, and then here's the girls' bathroom. You know, nice, lovely, pink, blue, whatever. I'm sexist. Not really, but you know, that's just the colors that people use for, you know, kids at an early age for the genders. But yeah, so, well, not only for the bathrooms, but also for these rooms. These rooms are kind of like their own unique thing. I don't know. I'm just going to explain to you what each room is as we go through them. But this room is for like a, what would you call it? I don't know. This is for the toddlers, the babies, the real young children. This is supposed to be like place where they get taken care of while like the like kids can actually go out and play, and you know, the adults don't have to worry about them, I guess. But yeah, this is where the daycare attendant and the moon are gonna be. Well, I guess I could just say daycare attendant because I think that technically includes both of them. But you know, sun and moon, this is where they're gonna be, and it's basically gonna look like exactly like in Security. Not exactly, but this is basically gonna be heavily inspired off of the whatever place from Security Breach. So, but I really like the checkered floor because it's green and pink, because I want it, I imagine these pinks kind of like flowers, you know, on the floor, like a field of flowers. I think it works. I wanted to keep like the checker pattern going for each room, so that's why, you know, this is like this. But yeah, it's kind of supposed to represent like, you know, field of flowers, and then these are kind of supposed to represent the hills, then the blue sky, then the sun, and yada yada yada. Yeah, there's that one. Here's this one. This one is going to be where Blora and Baby are stationed. My idea is for this to be kind of like a ice cream shop kind of place, but then like in the middle, a dance floor for obviously Blora. It kind of feels like I'm shoving two things together, and I definitely am, but like, I don't know, I also think about it, and it's like, you know, Chica has the mazer size where you eat and then exercise, so it's like, it makes sense. Well, I don't know. I might just change it to an ice cream shop, because I feel like Blora could easily fit into that too, but at the same time, I don't think, you know, having an ice cream shop and like a dance floor in the same place isn't that too weird, because this is FNAF we're talking about. But yeah, that's this room. And then this room over here is arts and crafts. So this is this is where Trash and the gang are gonna be stationed. Yes, Trash and the gang have their own room, but obviously in my universe, I guess they're more of like things kids have made, you know, arts and crafts. So I'm gonna have like little tables with like drawers and stuff where you can like, you know, make your own quote-unquote animatronic, and then probably have a little stage where, like, kids can display them and stuff like that, you know, that kind of thing. And then on the other side, oh yeah, you also got, like, little booths on the sides, too, because why the hell not? On the other side, here are these rooms. Let's start down here. So this room is the arcade. Music Man is going to be stationed in here, but if I don't decide to put Balloon Boy and JJ in either of the hallways, like where with the party rooms or in these hallways, then I'll probably put them both in here. But yeah, this is the arcade. I'm gonna, you know, it's gonna have like arcade machines and stuff. Maybe a little stage for Music Man. Maybe in the middle, actually. I don't know. It's definitely inspired off of DJ Music Man and Security Breach, but you know, Music Man is gonna be in here at least. I really like the like neon colors on the wall, like the dark wall with the neon color stripes and stuff. So I decided to put the checker pattern as like a border, and then, you know, this kind of block as the carpet. I think it looks too like repetitive. Like the carpet looks a little too repetitive in Minecraft, but I think like if I were to actually like draw this, it would look a lot better like this. So that's why it's, you know, like that. And then we have this one. This one's gonna be like, I don't know what you would call it, but basically this is where Roxy and Monty are gonna be located. This is kind of like a room for kids to go in, get dressed up, and, you know, kind of stuff like that. And then I'm gonna have a stage here where kids can like kind of like do their own, like, I guess, catwalk to show off their styles and stuff, you know, play dress up. That's kind of like the idea for this room. And then over here is for the older audience. This is going to be like a little horror maze. This is where, I think it's just FreadBear. I don't know. I feel like I'm missing an animatronic, FreadBear, and maybe another animatronic. But yeah, it's basically gonna be a horror maze. So you just walk through this while an animatronic chases you, kind of like Springtrap in FNAF 3. But you know, FreadBear. So yeah, so each room kind of has their own thing, and you know it's cool and whatnot. So let's go to Backstage. So there's two ways you can enter this room. Either A, just by one of these doors, or B, there's kind of like little openings on each side. Because I think that's kind of like how Backstages kind of actually are, but I don't know. Either way, I like this idea, so I used it. Back here is parts and service / backstage. I decided to put Sparky in here because he's basically canon at this point. But I like the idea that he's like an unfinished animatronic that was just never like finalized and like, you know, put there. So he's just kind of like back here to rot. But you know, he's just vibing. He's just chilling. You got some animatronic parts. I need to decorate this room a lot more too. I just kind of didn't know with what yet. So yeah. But here is definitely my favorite part of this whole, you know, building. Because right here, we have FreadBear's Diner. I had the idea to, like, have FreadBear's Diner, or, like, have this pizzeria built around FreadBear's Diner. It's kind of inspired, like, off of, like, the books and even the games, where, like, in the books, the original FNAF 1 location was built, like, a mall was built around it, I think. And in the games, Security Breach was built over the pizzeria simulator, and the pizzeria simulator was built over another building. But instead of being built on top, it's obviously built around because, well, I'll show you why. Because right in front of this building is going to be where the security office is located. And if you're in the security office and you look right behind you, boom! Oh, that was something. Boom! Yeah, we have Springtrap on his stage, rotting away, all by himself. But yeah, I really like the idea, because you're gonna have, like, your back up against him, because this is gonna be where the office is. But, like, right behind you is good old William A. But yeah, I just really like the idea of Springtrap kind of being, like, where it all started, I guess. I don't know. It's a cool idea to me. But yeah, he's even on the stage and anything, and the curtain's kind of, like, closed a little bit, but I still wanted you to see him, obviously. But yeah, I really like this idea, so that's why I had to build, like, the normal version first, and then, like, the old version. I still have to make this look a little more, like, decayed and old. I gotta, like, break up the walls with some other blocks to make it, like, look, I don't know, just older, you know, like, with cracks, maybe. I just have to figure out how I'm gonna do that. But yeah, that's basically everything I have so far. Like I said, it's all a work in progress of this stuff I still need to do. But like I said, the security office is going to be right there. I want, like, hallways that are meant only for, like, the workers. Kind of like the tunnels and the FNAF 1 movie. Kind of like with those, like, gray hallways that seem like it's only for employees. I really like that idea, so I decided to use it for this location. But yeah, you're gonna have the security office here, and then hallways connecting to kind of these rooms over here, and then maybe even the hallways. But I think I want to have like a I don't know where they're called, but you know, and like I guess, like, for example, Walmart, where they have, like, areas for trucks to come and unload their, like, stock and stuff. I want, like, something like that right here, maybe, and right next to it, maybe, like, a room for storage. Which, by the way, I came up with this idea long before Secret of the Mimic came out. But if I did have to put the Secret of the Mimic characters anywhere, it would probably in storage. Kind of like, you know, Fazbear has them, but not using them, so they'd probably be in storage. I think I'm going to have, like, the kitchen over here, and then maybe the office, like, normal office, not the security office, kind of, like, over on this side. And like I said, security office right here. Or maybe I could put janitor closets both at the end of these. I might do that, actually. Or maybe in these hallways. I'm not too sure. But either way, yeah, that's kind of, like, all I have to do for the layout. You know, but, yeah. Anyways, yeah, that's everything I got so far. I'm pretty proud of it. So if you want to know why I'm making this, it's because here's a question for you. Have you ever had a world, and like you daydreamed of as a kid, where, like where all your favorite where your favorite characters could come and hang out and stuff like that? I had that. The three main ones you need to know about are Sonic, Bonnie, and Luigi. There's others, but those were the three main ones to me. Either way, I've had several versions of that kind of world, and this is kind of a part of the newest version, I guess, which I came up with the idea of, like, years ago. I think Chapter 5 of Bendy and the Ink Machine just came out, maybe. No, it was the first chapter, maybe. I can't remember. Either way, this is part of, like, that kind of world. But basically, one day I was in my bed and I was very bored, and I started drawing Sonic's shoes in the air. But I was trying to draw his soap shoes, and then I kind of, like, accidentally came up with my own, like, from there, I kind of accidentally came up with my own design for Sonic. And so I decided, you know what, I'll do it for all my favorite characters. So I did one for Luigi and Bonnie, and then I still want to do it for my other favorite characters. But then from there, I started, like, making my, like, kind of like a world with my favorite characters, but, like, of my own design. And, yeah, this is kind of like what this pizzeria is. It's basically so I can use one of each animatronic in that world, just, you know, for me to play with. So that's why there's Bonnie, Foxy, Chica, Foxy, but then, you know, Baby's in there, and the Sun and Moon, and, you know, Nightmare's gonna be here, FreadBear, the Mediocre Melodies, so on and so forth. This is really just an excuse. Well, I'm mostly just doing this for fun, because I still think about that world, I won't lie to you, but I don't think of it as much as I used to. But I always wanted to build this pizzeria, so here I am. And now you know why I'm building this. For funsies, or why it exists. Now you know why it exists. But, yeah, that's all I had to show you. Again, work in progress, obviously. If you have any ideas or opinions, let me know. And, I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and what's not. And I'll see you guys next time. See ya!